Sure. So my name's Damon McLeese. I'm the executive director of Access Gallery here in Denver, and we are a nonprofit social enterprise that works with to increase economic opportunity through the arts for young people with disabilities. So we work with young artists and help them establish themselves, help them refine their skills, and then we operate a gallery and a social enterprise at 909 Santa Fe, right in the heart of the Arts District on Santa Fe.
And are
We're
you guys
very much.
part of the Santa Fe Art Walk then?
Absolutely. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Before the pandemic, we would routinely get 1,000, 1,500 people through the door every first Friday. So,
So like I said, I think it was about 2019 when I first walked
yeah.
in your door and lay down the whole plan or the beginning of the plans for Shine. Tell me what it was about Shine that made you want to participate and have Access Gallery be a part of it.
I really just like the idea that it was accessible, inclusive. It was, just a very different approach instead of a music festival just out to sell $40 t-shirts and fill up people on beer. It had a very different feel and a very different vibe. I huge music fan. I've loved music for my entire life. It's one of the things that I think has been really hard over the last year. And I just kind of like the general approach. I like that it wasn't high pressure. I like that it was, the fun was definitely evident. So,
Yeah.
yeah, again, I just kind of like the vibe of the whole thing. And, I love the venue. I love just the feel of the whole thing. So I like the fact that, a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life that may never have been to a festival are going to be put first and foremost. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things I guess leading into like the first time I went into Access Gallery and was walking around and looking at all the different art that you have there, and I stumbled upon AJ's work, and so tell me about the process that Access Gallery took with AJ and Josiah in
Mhm.
creating Shine's first ever concert poster.
Yeah, well, AJ is a young man that we've worked with for over 10 years. He's an emerging artist. His style, he loves to draw characters. He puts stoplights onto human bodies and dragons, and there's just something about that. We jokingly call his characters light bulb head dude. We started 3D printing them. And AJ has a very simple, very direct style. We had him start working with one of our teaching artists, Josiah, and they kind of Josiah has a little bit more of a fluid illustrative style. But what we did is we started having them sit down and draw things together, and they would talk about foods that they like, and then they'd start drawing the food that they liked, and then they would do monsters and robots. So musicians were just a natural progression. It just made sense, and I was playing with them, and I said, "Why don't you make a picture of a music festival?" And one thing led to another, and pretty soon the entire canvas was full up, and had to make them stop. But yeah, it was. And we went with this particular one. They do work in color, but this particular piece I thought was just much stronger. And with the black and white, I jokingly say it's kind of a mixture between Keith Haring and Art Crumb.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on in these drawings that it's you know that feel of Where's Waldo, but there's definitely something else going on there. You can every time you look at it, you see something different.
Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice this
Yeah.
guy, and I didn't notice
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and that's what I just we just kind of handed it over to you guys and said, we don't want to direct you on how this is going to be. We like that this thing, you knew what the whole concept of Shine was.
Yeah.
I could not have envisioned a better, it's perfect. And it's all encompassing. It's everything, which is what Shine is about. It's about community, and it's about inclusiveness, and that this artwork completely just grasped onto that entire concept, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited for everyone to see that as well. And speaking of, they can see that this artwork now at the rock and roll show that's going on at the gallery right now, right? Can you tell me more about what's going on with the show?
Yeah, well, we reopened the gallery starting around February. We had done some remodeling to open the space up so we could have some more social distancing. We put a lot of energy into making our storage more accessible, more appealing. So the whole space looked very, very different. And when we started bringing people back in, we were just feeling anticipation. We knew things were turning. We were really hoping that we were going to start coming out of that. And we noticed that there was just that sense or that air of hopefulness. And one day we had a discussion about what everybody was missing and what they wanted to do. And of course, it didn't take long before somebody said, we want to go see some live music. And then one thing led to another. I think about that time, you and I sort of reconnected about, you're like, okay, we're going to do this. After a year's delay, we're really going to do this. And so one thing led to another. I just started asking our artists to start doing musicians. We really had a fun run. We had one of our artists do some very famous guitar players. We got Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan done by Jareth, one of our artists. We had the thing about the show is it's got some heavy hitters in it, but it's also very eclectic. I mean, we have a full-on sticker collage of George Clinton.
Tell me about the George Clinton process.
So part of what we do is we work collaboratively on some of these sticker pieces. We make artwork collages out of vinyl stickers that are donated to us. And we were working on George Clinton, and we realized we were running a little bit low on skin tones. For stickers, the stickers are donated to us. We have boxes of them and we sort them through in colors, and it's part of our job readiness program for some of our artists. But we had done a lot of portraits last year, and we just didn't have a lot of skin tone. So I was really worried about the skin tone. And right as we were about ready to finish on his forehead, we found the right pieces. We realized his beard just wasn't cutting it. We were running really low on black and white sort of curly, spurly stickers. So we had to call Sticker Giant. They sent us an emergency supply of black and white stickers. So George Clinton's beard didn't look like some old white guy. It really does look like George Clinton's beard. And the dreadlocks, if you look at the dreadlocks and some of the stuff in his hair, you can see little bits and little characters. So it really is a fun piece.
Which is true. There's got to be things living in that beard. So it'd be great to get that in front of George and see what he thinks, for sure.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah.
We might have to work on
that. But the nice thing about this particular show is it showcased some artists that haven't had a lot of. We have 2 artists in the show that have never had a piece in the art show before, so we're thrilled with that. We have everything from the drawings that I've mentioned to, we have 3 AJ and Josiah pieces. We're not selling clearly your piece. We have it on display, but we're not selling your piece. But then we also have a young woman who, during the pandemic, we provided her with an iPad and she started drawing people. She'd do a portrait of me. She'd do a portrait of all the staff. Then she started running out of people that she knew. So she started doing portraits of famous people. And she's done Gladys Knight and the Pips, the Jackson 5. So we have a whole wall dedicated to a little bit more of her soulful things. And they were drawn on an iPad, and then we printed them directly onto metal. So they just have that deep, rich color. And then we have our friend Jose, who makes characters out of masking tape. And normally he's making like superheroes like Spider-Man and
out of masking tape?
Out of masking tape.
Oh,
he makes them out of masking tape. So I had him make Kiss and the Village People, and we made them into little vignettes and cigar boxes. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We have a little bit of a sticky, between the stickers and the tape, we have a little sticky theme going on there. But
I was going to say.
It really is a fun show. It's a fun show.
And all those things are all at once, so people can come. When is the show running?
The show is open now through June 12th.
Okay.
We are very limited hours. We're open 1 to 5 on Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 3 on May 30th, and then by appointment. So if somebody couldn't come down during those times, they can email or call. They go to accessgallery.org. Okay. That's the other thing. All of the pieces are online. So if you're out of Denver or you can't come down or those times don't work, you can see the pieces online. One of the things we had to do during the pandemic is, before the pandemic, everything was in the gallery. During the pandemic, everything was online. Now we're trying to meld those 2 worlds. And, I think we're doing okay. We can, so if you can't come down to the gallery to see the pieces live, you can still hop online, see the pieces. And one of the nice things about it is, if you have a musician, if your musician didn't make this cut and you want us to do a portrait of somebody, there's any number of our artists that would be willing to do a portrait. we're not quite back to full capacity, obviously, but we have artists coming in 5 days a week, looking for different projects, different work. We have some great shows coming up, and just really looking forward to the festival.
Awesome. We're really excited. So, I mean, you added a graphic design kind of
Yeah,
element. So now Access Gallery is not only going to be, do the artwork, but you're going to be able to actually create the poster. So that's
yeah,
really exciting. We're going to work with Stu at Ink Lounge.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm just really excited. And, this, it's the first of its kind, but definitely not going to be the last, having
Hmm.
Access Gallery do
Yeah,
all of the Shine posters makes complete and total sense. There's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it aligns perfectly, and
They'll be
so
collectible. They'll be the
yeah,
collectible. That's what we're
exactly.
shooting for. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And it's just a great, I mean, it's awesome work. It's great artwork and it's a great cause. I mean, it's not only providing an area for these artists to expand, their skills, but it's an economic opportunity for them.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it. It's a pretty high percentage of people with disabilities that live within poverty level, correct?
Yeah, one estimate estimates that nearly 70% of all people with disabilities in this country are unemployed. And that's 70, not seven, that's 70%.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work with our artists when they're coming out of high school. That's a lot of people sort of fall off or fall through the cracks. We are catching them through the cracks because most of our artists aren't going on to college. Most of our artists are not going on to even get just your traditional high school job. A lot of our artists aren't. They're fully capable. They're just not getting those jobs for
Right.
a variety of reasons. So a few years ago, we turned that concept on its head, and we started figuring out ways that we could be helping them make money. So either through their art sales, we talked a little bit about the graphic design. We happen to have a staff member now that's got 35 years of experience as a graphic designer.
Amy, right?
Yeah, Amy. Amy's she's been supporting us, working with us, volunteering with us for 15 years. So we finally hired her, and what we do is she teaches design principles, and then she works with a cohort of our artists, and they're learning graphic design skills. We've done a full-on developmental disability awareness campaign. We're going to have them design the poster. We're doing a couple other projects. That I think we're designing a beer label, and there's
Wow.
some other project that's come up. So these are real world skills. If the pandemic taught us anything, it's a lot that people with disabilities can work from home. The computer and technology, that's a whole other discussion about the digital divide. But we were delivering early on in the pandemic. We were delivering food, art supplies, and technology so people could stay connected. And the graphic design idea is something that we've played with for a long time, but we're looking for opportunities and ways for people to engage our artists. And so far, so good. We've got a great digital art lab, so we can 3D print things. We can mock up packaging. We can do pretty much anything.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. And everybody can accessgallery.org, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
all that information is in there. Thanks so much. And you guys just do
Sure.
great things. And we're just honored to have such a great partner like Access Gallery.
We're excited to be a part of it, and we can't wait to see you at Levitt in August.
August 8th.
August
Yes.
8th. We're ready. Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much for everything you're doing, Sean, and we look forward to working with you.
Thanks, Damon, so
All right.
much.
Take
All right.
care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.